grass is not part of the avenue of the Sphinxes, it's just more Sphinxes. I think the avenue of the Sphinxes is actually over there, going that way, because the Nile is right over there, and the avenue parallels the Nile. Based on what I saw at the Sphinx, it looks like this is a port right here. That's a same sort of situation. And this, with the grass and everything, there's a well right there. So this probably used to flood up to here. Yeah, that was the port along the Nile for sure. Yeah, port of the temple. Wow. It's too bad there aren't any giant statues here like the Luxor Temple, because this place is huge. They were not messing around with this wall. I don't know what they thought could get through a wall this thick. And then after that, more wall. I mean, and this is just the outer wall, that's the inner wall. What exactly are you keeping out with a wall that thick? Oh, this is just amazing. Every single one of these is just absolutely amazing. Wow. Oh man. Unbelievable. Look at the size of these columns. Still faint traces of paint on this wall. Fully exposed. Famous hypostyle hall. These are definitely bigger than the Luxor columns. The Luxor temple columns, rather. Still in Luxor. Man. Oh. Yeah, and color everywhere. And it just goes and goes. Wow. Wow, look at that up there. And you just feel tiny in all of this. Wow. Oh my goodness. The Egyptians like to play on size and perspective in their monuments. A lot of things they try to set back and make one thing look as big as the other, even though one thing is not, just based on perspective. That's kind of what's going on at the Great Pyramids. Apparently that was what's going on with the obelisks at the Luxor Temple. Unfortunately, the other one that played on perspective is in Paris. It's definitely what's going on here. Like, it really tricks with your mind. You think they're in the same place and one is bigger and one is closer, and they're not. Like, Menkaure really looks like it's so far away and maybe possibly just as big as Khufu and Khafre. And the way Khafre looks bigger than Khufu, even though it's smaller because it's on an elevated platform. They liked the idea of optical illusion, clearly. A little bit of a magic trick that they do. Oh my God, this thing is in granite. We're heading in the direction of the Avenue of the Sphinxes. This temple is massive. It just, so many different directions to go in. So many different halls and doors. It's really, really massive. Giant walls everywhere. Look at that. Great cross-section of how the wall was constructed with the inner blocks and the outer blocks. What a wall. Look at those. So I overheard some tourists talking about this is some sort of bath where the priests would bathe in ritualistically. What a bath. So now we are on the way to Sphinx Avenue, and this area is a graveyard of all of the pieces that used to be here. Man, I do like how they haven't decided to reconstruct it and then reconstruct it incorrectly, because they'd almost certainly get it wrong. Many archaeological sites you go to, a lot of the stuff you see has been reconstructed, and you really don't know if that's correct. For instance, the famous Mesa Verde cliff dwelling house, it was a pile of bricks and they reconstructed it. So really, you know, who knows if that was accurate or not, right down to their trapezoidal windows. That could have been completely made up by someone in the 1800s. You know, dinosaurs, same thing. When you go to a museum and see a dinosaur skeleton, usually it's just a small percentage real, and the rest of it has been, you know, completely fabricated. Sometimes it's just a leg bone, and the rest of the brontosaurus is completely fake. And, you know, it was a problem for a long time. Suddenly someone would find a full specimen and realize, oh, we did that wrong. And people base entire careers on some incorrect reconstruction. So it's good that it's here. You know, see, they've found some pieces that they think go together. But world's biggest jigsaw puzzle right here. I mean, presumably one day you could just scan with LiDAR every single block and use some kind of AI or statistical algorithm to kind of reconstruct how the blocks fit together. But, I mean, it doesn't look like the level of science going on has reached that height yet of technology, because they've got artists drawing hieroglyphs in the sun. I have no idea why that's not scanned by LiDAR or something. Let's see if this is the room I'm supposed to go into. Oh. I can't tell if that's soot or some sort of bacterial thing. You know, some of these temples, the guards use them as a place to cook their lunches, and it's leaving traces of soot on the ceiling underneath their campfires. It's just terrible that they let them do that. They're also in here smoking in rooms with 3,000-year-old paint. It's this cool little monkey statue. I'm gonna guess this is the other end of the Avenue of Sphinxes, but there are no sphinxes here. Wow. These doors. Yeah, I see he's making lunch, but I don't see a campfire, but some of them do. Oh, wow. I can imagine what this would have been like. All completely covered in paint and still fresh. I mean, it would have been outrageous. These doors. No hinges here, so I wonder if there was really a door or if it was always open. Or they had some kind of, I don't know what. Yeah, so here are the last few remaining sphinxes at the other end of the Avenue of Sphinxes. They're gone. A couple of boats over there. But yeah, that stretches all the way to Luxor Temple. So that's what this is. Temple of Khonsu, son of Amun and Mut. Wow. Just get a sense of the scale of this. It's huge. I mean, I think this is about the same size as the area around the Roman Senate in Rome. I think it might even be bigger. And it's incredible, actually, how small the Roman Senate building is itself. And there's like the Temple of Saturn, Temple of Jupiter, Temple of Castor and Pollux. And this has got to be bigger. I'm going to check on Google Earth when I can, but man, this is huge. Interesting. If one of you crack computer science people can figure this out, let me know. Three kilometers of sphinxes. And in this direction, the Temple of Mut, goddess, wife of Amun-Ra. Look at that. I don't know why this guy's showing me around. He's gonna want to tip in a minute for nothing. So sick of it. And look how we're right in the middle of the city. There's kids running along the wall, playing amongst the sphinxes. Half the city is a ruin. Yeah, see, this obelisk on the left is clearly smaller than the obelisk on the right. But when I came in from the other direction, it didn't look like that at all. They looked more or less the same size. Maybe the one in the front was bigger. But the way they set it back, and I don't know, maybe we'll see what the pedestal looks like. And even as I'm walking there, they're changing size, you know, or apparent size. In a second, they're going to look the same size. It's cool little optical illusions like that they love. Look, yeah, they almost look the same size now. It's very cool. Again, the craziness of the perspective of these two obelisks. Now, this one looks smaller than that one. Oh, wow.
This deriva manifestato a lunga sonza.
Could you imagine if they opened this up at night for a game of laser tag? Jesus, this would be the best laser tag court ever. They should do that. I'm sure people would destroy stuff. It would be better than paintball, because that would actually destroy stuff. But oh my god. Laser tag? Capture the flag, Karnak Temple, laser tag. Golden gun. Always stars in the ceiling.
يا رب مرحب مرحب.
See, they just come up to me and start talking to me in Arabic like I know. You would think that I would get harassed less, but it's just as much. What's in here? Ugh. Oh. Oh, look at that bird. Look at the color. Wow. Oh, he's excited. It's the first one of those I've seen. There's always depictions of giant erect penises in these ancient monuments. It's amazing how much they were into that kind of thing. And the Incas, it was crazy how they had like tea kettles made of giant erect penises. And in Pompeii, that street with just penises all over the wall. I haven't seen that much of it here, but that was the first one. It keeps going. There's one more temple back here. This place is enormous. Temple of Ramses II. I mean, Ramses II, aka Ramses the Great, aka Pharaoh Ramses from the Bible, is all over this place. I mean, we know he was a productive individual Oh man. I think he must have been the tallest, just eyeballing it, of the kings I saw in the mummy exhibit in Cairo. He was just under 6 feet, I think. But yeah, definitely bigger than most, so I'm sure he must have seemed like an imposing individual for a bunch of people that were 5 feet tall. And kind of blonde hair. Not sure if that was the original color or maybe the natron bleached his hair or something, or that's just a little bit lighter color due to his age, but it looked blonde to me. Kind of a bald spot, mullet sort of thing. All right, I think that is most of Karnak Temple. Our last ruin of the trip. And it's pretty fantastic. Before heading home this evening. So if you've been following along, I hope you've enjoyed the journey. It was quite an adventure. Yeah.